Hello guys, this is Alyssa Aurora and today is a different kind of video. Today is going to be a gaming video. As you know, I do gaming videos and Photoshop videos and tutorials and stuff like that. So, today we are going to do a gaming video on Mechanic Simulator 2014. And yes, I know this game is old now, but Steam are having a sale, and bear in mind, believe it or not, it was 49p, so I decided to buy it. So let's begin. Let's make a new profile so we can start again. Let's call it that so I know the difference between them. Save. Right, let's play. Let's play career. And let's start our career. So as you saw just a minute ago, I do have another profile and I have played this before. But for the benefits of this video, I'm just going to start over so you guys know how it is. So there will be a tutorial. If we can just get rid of the tutorial, right? Let's see. So over here we have the radio, which I don't want this on, so I'm just going to leave that. This it doesn't. You can't move it now because you're still in the tutorial. But this is let's do it after the tutorial so we don't get all this stuff telling us what to do. So let's just do this tutorial. In the tutorial you just have to go to the blue circles and just click what is, and all you have to do is those two things, and that concludes the tutorial apparently. Don't see how it's a tutorial, it doesn't tell everything, but oh well. Okay, this is our first, so what you have to do is you have to look what these are. So replace front brake pads and check the discs. Can you change the brake pads on the front axle and check the condition of the brake disc, please? I'll be back tomorrow. We get $500 for this repair. So, it tells me about right. So this, as you saw in the tutorial, lifts the ramp up and down, or the I don't know what you call it actually. Lift, car lift. Yeah, that's what it says there. And then this is oil container. So once you've lifted the car up, you put it under here, and then you would drain the oil. If you miss that bucket thing, then you have to pay $100 to clean it up. I don't know why it's $100 if it's in your own workshop, but you have to pay $100. This you can repair car parts. You can't repair all parts, but try and repair them because it's cheaper than buying new parts. So let's get started. What we need to do is the brake pads and discs. So first you need to remove the wheel, obviously, because the brakes are behind the wheel. So if we just remove these, what we have to do is caliper, let's get rid of this. So as you can see, the bolts are highlighted in yellow. You just have to hold the mouse and drag, and it will screw out. You'll get the hang of it if you have this game. So let's take off the pads. Look, 10% there, so it'll tell you what the thing you've just taken off, the condition will be in the bottom of your screen here. So 11%, that is bad. That is bad condition. Anything under 50 is alright, and then if it's under like 40, I class that as a repair. But if it's 50 or over, then I'll just leave it as it is. But if it's under 40, then I'll repair it. So let's look at the other one. And actually, let's just look at this. It did. Yeah, it's only front, not back. Alright. Sometimes the customers won't state what's wrong. They'll just say, "Oh, there's something wrong with the steering or something," and you have to find the problem yourself. But sometimes they will say what the problem is, so they're a bit easier. So let's get rid of this caliper. Get rid of these pads. Oh. And I think they said check the discs as well. Check the discs. So if we just take off this disc and this disc too, just to check them. Just take them off like that. Right, now if we right click on our mouse and then we go to inventory, we'll see all the parts you just taken off the car, and we can see that the brake discs don't actually need repairing. It's just the pads. So what I need to do is I need to buy 4 brake pads from the computer, which is where you buy all the parts. You can buy used car parts, but I don't recommend it because sometimes they can be like 20%. You have to repair them. So in my opinion, I think it's just a waste of money. So I'm going to go to the parts shop and find pads. Here we go. So just buy 4 of these because that's how many we need. Right, no tutorial, thank you. Right, if we go back here, right click on our mouse, then we click this assemble mode, as you can see in the top corner there's a green car. That means we're in assembly mode, which means you can put things back together. So if we put the discs back on, then we can put our brand new calipers back on, just like that, and then we can put, brake pads, sorry, back on, then caliper, my bad. So put the calipers on, and then the tyre. You can get different wheels, but actually no, there is a game mode where you get to customize the cars how you want, but this is just to what the customer says, so don't put weird wheels on it. I think they still accept it, but you know, it's not what a customer wants. But the other game mode you saw in the main menu, well, I'll use ASD to rotate as well, WASD. Put those on in this. As you saw in the main menu earlier, you might have seen there were 3 sections. There's campaign and then other game modes. The other game modes you have to pay for, but in the sale it came with the full version, the full edition, so it came with both the DLCs. But on the DLCs you can upgrade drag cars, and on that you don't have to fix them, you have to upgrade them to get a specific time, so you can put what you want on them. That's a pretty fun game mode. I play that quite a lot. Anyway, what we do now is we right click, go into repair order, and then once they're both ticked we can press repaired and get the money and go to the next car. So I don't know what car you're going to get next. It might even be a van, I'm not sure. Here we go. Right, well, air filter, oil filter, fuel filter, 300. Okay, and watch the price that they give you, because obviously if you spend more than that then you're not going to make any profit, so just be aware of that. So what they say, oil and fuel, oil, yeah, okay. So the air and oil filters are in the engine, so the air one's under here. Oh look, and if you want to take a piece off, if you hover over it, anything that flashes red means you have to take that off before you can remove this piece. So which means we have to remove this before we can remove the air filter cover. Like this. There you go. Now we can remove this. I think bolts can be quite tedious sometimes to take them in and out, but I think the thing that has the most bolts is the manifold. They have loads of bolts. They have 4 per like diamond shape you see here, so that there's quite a lot that you have to take out. The V6 ones are even bigger. Anyway, that's the air filter. We're going to go over to the oil filter, take that out. Right, now we need to lift this up and go to the fuel filter, which is towards the back at the fuel tank, as expect here. W and S go up and down, and A and D go left and right. So this is the fuel filter. Let's take this off. Right, now we need to buy. Oh, and another way to make a little bit of money, just if you need it, is sell the old parts. Like look, $4, but it doesn't. It's not much, but over time it could make a difference. So we need air filter, oil filter, and fuel filter. I'm going to sell these now because I know what I want, but if you're not very good at remembering, keep them for reference so you know what you have to get, because sometimes there's quite a lot of parts you take off and need to remember. So air filter, we need one of them. We need an oil filter. Oh, there's a fuel filter there. The oil filter, I don't know if I've... Oh, there we go. Looks like a type of filter you get in a swimming pool. Quite funny actually. Let's do the fuel first, just because it's here. Right, assembly mode. Put that back on. I don't know how that goes on without attaching to anything, but okay. Right, let's lower this down so you can access the engine bay. I think you can access it from underneath, but it's just easier if it's like this, because then you can look at the top. Let's put the oil filter back in. Put the cap on. And if you go in disassembly mode, which is the red car, you can actually click on the dipstick and it will check the oil level for you. So yellow is a good colour, that's like new oil, and black means it needs changing. And obviously maximum is how much, and minimum, if it's below minimum then fill up the oil. But I'm going to fill up the oil for this person anyway, because I feel like it. So if you just click on this, it has to be in disassembly mode, and just hold it, click and hold, and it will start pouring, and you know when it's full because it will start spilling like that, so just let go, right click and it will go back. Right, let's assemble the next parts. So that's the air filter, let's put that in. And the cover. The cover looks like fabric almost from the textures in this game. But then it is quite an old game, so this, I don't know what this is. I'm not very good with cars. I don't really know what much pieces are. I just know all these pieces are from playing this game for a while. So put this on. Right, let's just check we've done it. Yep, that's all done. Repaired. I don't know how much we spent on that, but I think we did well. On to the next one. So this game is basically just like this. Keep going from car to car. Doing bits and pieces. Campaign can get a bit boring sometimes, just doing this over and over again. But once you've done a certain amount of vehicles, you move on to a bigger garage, and then a bigger garage yet again after that. And obviously the bigger garages have more stuff in them, so like they have test stations where you spin the wheels and test the suspension and stuff. So they're pretty cool. So actually, you get the campaign. Let's just go and show you the other game mode. I'll do one car in the other game mode, then I think that will be it for today's video. But if we click begin, play, as you can see, look, I don't know how you unlock endless. I haven't unlocked that yet, but that'll be fun to see what you can do on that. This career, you get that garage, then you get this garage, and then you get the last garage. But if you get the complete edition of the game, then you get these two DLCs. If you don't, then you have to buy them, obviously. But I've never played the 4x4, but the quarter mile is this is my favourite, because you don't have to repair the cars. You have to get them to a certain time on the drag strip, so which means you can literally put what you want on them to upgrade them. So I'll show you here. It'll probably come up with another tutorial, but so look, as you can see here, there's quarter mile time below 14 seconds. So we just need to make this car go faster than that time. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to look what type of engine it has. So this is a V6. You can tell because it's got, well, it's a V shape. If I hover over the engine, as you can see, it's a V shape. As you can see, the grey line is a V shape, and then it has 6 pistons on each side. You can tell that by the amount of spark plugs, 1, 2, 3, and the other side 1, 2, 3 says this is a V6. Or you can just look at the texture of it like this. So that cover plate is a V6. So now we know that our car is a V6. What we can do, added to that, we need to know what car it is, because different cars use different wheels. So I don't know what this is. Let's look at the order. This is a Vulcan Spectre. So, and it's a V6. So if we go over to our computer, not car parts, so that's replacement parts. You want tuning parts, which is upgraded parts. So let's buy an air filter. As you can see, it pluses 1 power, and drag strip. But don't buy these. Obviously, this is an Asian Cougar wheel. You need to find the wheel for your car that you're upgrading. So we had, where is it? We had a Vulcan Spectre. So we would need to buy 4 of these, but obviously they're £5 grand. I only have £2 grand. So let's see. We've bought a filter, throttle V6. Yes, buy that. Right, and if you don't have enough money, don't worry. You should have enough for the game. They should make it enough. So we take off this cover. If we grab the throttle, and if we go in assembly mode, replace it with our brand new throttle, and then replace the cover. Let's check the oil just to see if that's in good condition. Yes, that's fine. Right, and then let's just load that. Right, this here is a roller dyno, so you can tune the car. So add all your parts, then do this, in my opinion. So if we go on the computer, right, first we go on program EPROM, EPROM, whatever you want to call it. Right, and what you have to do is you have to get all of these bars the same. So it's just trial and error really, but once you've got 2 bars that are the same, then click the final one. And then once you've done, it will say proper ratio. Click right, and that will write it. Then what you need to do, this is just a tutorial on how to do it, so you can click on that if you don't understand what I was saying. But then what we need to do, after you've programmed that, we need to go on this link and then begin dyno test. So you have to wait for that. So 305 is what the car was before we put all our parts on. and this is after we put all our parts on, so we got 23% difference with 375 tuning. So that's good. It's all good there. Return to garage. So as I said, you have to get quicker than 14 seconds on this car, I think. There are some cars which are slower, obviously, which you have to get better times, but so that is our car. Then what we can do is, if you think you've done a sufficient amount to speed it up, then you would go to this garage door and click test drive, which will take you to the drag strip. But I think I have 100 left. There might be something I can do for 100. Let's see. Yes, I could sell. I don't put the air filter in. Right, I'll sell that because that's the old part. I'll go put the air filter in. I knew I forgot something. Oh, we have to take the cover off just to take the air filter off. It's a pain. Take that off. Then this thing. Then the cover. Yeah, this game is quite old, so most of the parts are very similar. Like they all seem to be the same because there's not much variety in parts. And there's only V6 and then general, and there's only 2 engines in this game. But it is quite an old game, so you have to understand. But it is quite detailed for an old game, in my opinion. If we sorry about that. If we just put these back on, and these. For some reason this bit I have to turn around here to screw it in. It's a bit weird. This, and then the cover. Right, now let's see how much money we have. Don't actually know how you check your money. Let's go onto the computer. So 700. Is there anything else that I can buy for 700? You don't have to if you don't want to. But actually, I'm going to try and save myself money and race it now. If it's not quick enough now, then I will have to try and find something else. But let's drive car now. Drive the test track. Well, so this will load you onto the drag strip. It will give you an 1/8 of a mile time and a 1/4 mile time, but it will use, and see these yellow lights? There you go, go on. Just hold the accelerator as soon as you spawn in. There's no, like, you can't go before the green anyway, so just hold it and you'll get a good start. So as you can see, we got 14.14 and we needed 14.10. That was very close. I think I can beat that. I think that was too slow because I was turning quite erratically. So if we can try and go in a straight line this time, I reckon we can beat that. So let's try one more time. Obviously if it's a big difference, then you're going to have to find a way to upgrade the car another way. But I reckon that's doable if I wasn't turning so much. Oh, I've done it again. It's because it keeps veering over to the side. Nah. Turns the garage. I'm just going to add another upgrade just to secure the time. But like I said, that probably is doable if I would just let it go straight, but it was veering over the other side and I didn't like that. Don't know why, but I just didn't. So let's go see what you can get for 700. Tuning. Let's see. I get exhaust pipes, get a fuel pump. Oh, I can get ignition wires for the front. Let's try that. It's plus 2% power. So if we get here. Oh, I don't know why I have to take that off to get these off. So let's take the front ones off. Let's replace it with the front red ones. And replace this. Like that. But now we should be able to beat our time, and I'll just let it veer over to the side this time instead of steering, so we can get the best time possible. Let's hold this. And off we go. So yeah, just hold the accelerator as soon as you spawn in. It's much easier. So let's just go past here. There's our eighth mile time and our quarter mile. Are we going to do it? Yes, we did it. By 0.0, we had 0.04 left. That was very close, but we did it. So we earned the money for that. That was quite a fun, and I prefer this to campaign because, well, this is kind of a campaign, but it's like a DLC campaign. So if you don't have the DLC, then unfortunately you cannot play this. But I quite like this campaign because you don't have to do what the customer says. You just have to get up to a time, which means you can put what you want on it. So you get to decide, and if you have enough money, you can replace the whole thing with every single part on this computer. And that is a pretty fun thing to do. And I've done that before. I got up to like 200,000 because I just kept saving up. And I got to this car, and I just bought everything for the car and replaced it all. And I beat the time by like 5 seconds. It was crazy. But yeah, this game is pretty fun to do. So if I just hand in this car, I get 2,000, and you get quite a lot of money on this one because they're drag cars. So proceed to the next order. Right. Oh, this is the slow one. So this is the slow one. Actually, no, there is a slower one than this, I must admit. But yeah. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to comment and like the video. If you have any suggestions on what I should do next, then please put that in the comments. Comments are greatly appreciated. And most of all, subscribe. Thanks for watching.